Chapter 1 of Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker, titled To Sleep, Perchance to Dream, explores the importance of sleep and the consequences of not getting enough of it. The chapter opens with an anecdote about a young man named Randy Gardner who stayed awake for 11 days as part of a science fair project in 1964. Gardner experienced numerous negative effects on his physical and mental health, including hallucinations, mood swings, and difficulty concentrating. The author goes on to explain that sleep is not just a passive state of rest, but an active process during which the brain carries out important functions such as memory consolidation and neural repair. He describes the different stages of sleep and their specific roles in these processes. One of the most crucial functions of sleep is memory consolidation, which involves the transfer of information from short-term to long-term memory. This process occurs during the deep stages of sleep, and inadequate sleep can lead to impaired memory, learning, and creativity. The author also explores the consequences of sleep deprivation, which include increased risk of depression, anxiety, obesity, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. He explains that sleep deprivation can impair immune function, making us more vulnerable to infections and diseases. Finally, the chapter discusses the societal norms that discourage adequate sleep, such as the glorification of sleeplessness and the pressure to work long hours. The author emphasizes the importance of prioritizing sleep for our physical and mental well-being, and offers practical tips for improving sleep hygiene, such as maintaining a consistent sleep schedule, avoiding caffeine and alcohol before bed, and creating a relaxing sleep environment. Overall, Chapter 1 of Why We Sleep sets the stage for the rest of the book by highlighting the critical role that sleep plays in our lives and the negative consequences of not getting enough of it. The chapter provides a compelling argument for why we should prioritize sleep and offers practical advice for improving our sleep habits. Chapter 2 of Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker, titled Caffeine, Jet Lag, and Melatonin, explores the role of these three factors in regulating our sleep patterns. The chapter begins by discussing caffeine, one of the most widely consumed psychoactive substances in the world. The author explains that caffeine works by blocking the action of adenosine, a chemical that builds up in the brain over the course of the day and signals to us that it's time to sleep. By blocking adenosine, caffeine can help us stay awake and alert, but it can also disrupt our natural sleep-wake cycle and make it more difficult to fall asleep at night. The chapter then turns to the topic of jet lag, which occurs when our internal biological clock, or circadian rhythm, becomes out of sync with our external environment due to traveling across multiple time zones. The author explains that our circadian rhythm is regulated by the hormone melatonin, which is released by the pineal gland in response to darkness. Melatonin signals to our body that it's time to sleep and helps to shift our circadian rhythm to match the new time zone. However, melatonin supplements are not always effective in treating jet lag, and the author suggests other strategies such as exposure to natural sunlight and strategic napping to help adjust to a new time zone. Finally, the chapter discusses the relationship between sleep and mental health. The author explains that sleep disturbances are often a symptom of psychiatric disorders such as depression and anxiety, but they can also be a cause, as chronic sleep deprivation can lead to changes in brain chemistry that increase the risk of developing these disorders. Overall, Chapter 2 of Why We Sleep provides a detailed exploration of the ways in which caffeine, jet lag, and melatonin can affect our sleep patterns and our overall health. The chapter offers practical advice for managing the effects of caffeine and jet lag, as well as insights into the complex relationship between sleep and mental health. The chapter reinforces the importance of a healthy sleep pattern and the serious consequences that can result from sleep disturbances. Chapter 3 of Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker, titled Defining and Generating Sleep, delves into the physiological and neurological mechanisms that underlie the sleep-wake cycle. The chapter begins by defining sleep as a state of reduced awareness and responsiveness to external stimuli, accompanied by changes in brain activity and physiology. The author explains that sleep is characterized by distinct stages that are defined by different patterns of brain activity, ranging from light sleep to deep sleep and REM, rapid eye movement, sleep. The chapter goes on to explore the biological mechanisms that generate the sleep-wake cycle, including the interaction between two key systems in the brain, the circadian system, which regulates our internal biological clock, and the sleep homeostatic system, which tracks our need for sleep based on the amount of time we have been awake. The author explains that the circadian system is regulated by a master clock located in the suprachiasmatic nucleus, SCN, of the hypothalamus, which receives input from light-sensitive cells in the retina. The circadian system influences a variety of physiological processes, including body temperature, hormone secretion, and sleep-wake cycles. The chapter then turns to the sleep homeostatic system, which is regulated by a chemical called adenosine. Adenosine builds up in the brain over the course of the day and signals to the body that it's time to sleep. During sleep, adenosine is cleared from the brain, allowing us to wake up feeling refreshed. The chapter concludes by exploring the role of the neurotransmitter gamma-aminobutyric acid, GABA, in promoting sleep. GABA acts as an inhibitory neurotransmitter, reducing activity in the brain and promoting relaxation and sleepiness. The author explains that drugs that increase GABA activity, such as benzodiazepines and alcohol, can be effective sleep aids, but they can also have negative side effects and should be used with caution. Overall, Chapter 3 of Why We Sleep provides a detailed and accessible explanation of the biological mechanisms that generate the sleep-wake cycle. The chapter highlights the crucial role of the circadian system and the sleep homeostatic system in regulating our sleep patterns, as well as the role of neurotransmitters such as adenosine and GABA in promoting sleep. The chapter underscores the importance of a healthy sleep pattern for our physical and mental well-being and provides a solid scientific basis for understanding the mechanics of sleep. Chapter 4 of Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker, titled 8 Beds, Dinosaurs, and Napping with Half a Brain, explores the evolution of sleep across different species and throughout history. The chapter begins by discussing the sleep patterns of non-human animals, such as apes, birds, and reptiles. The author explains that different species exhibit different patterns of sleep, with some sleeping for many hours each day and others sleeping for only a few minutes at a time. The author also notes that certain species, such as dolphins and some birds, are able to sleep with only one hemisphere of the brain at a time, a phenomenon known as unihemispheric sleep. The chapter then turns to the history of sleep in humans, noting that our ancestors likely slept in a different pattern than we do today. The author explains that the invention of artificial lighting has allowed humans to stay awake longer and disrupt our natural sleep-wake cycles, leading to a wide range of health problems. The chapter also discusses the role of sleep in memory consolidation and learning. The author explains that sleep plays a crucial role in consolidating memories and promoting learning, and that sleep disturbances can impair these processes. The author suggests that the reason for this may be that the brain is better able to form and strengthen connections between neurons during sleep. The chapter concludes by highlighting the importance of a healthy sleep pattern for physical and mental health. The author notes that sleep deprivation is associated with a wide range of health problems, including obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and depression. The author also stresses that napping can be a valuable tool for improving cognitive function and reducing the negative effects of sleep deprivation. Overall, Chapter 4 of Why We Sleep provides a fascinating exploration of the evolution of sleep across different species and throughout history. The chapter underscores the crucial role of sleep in memory consolidation and learning, and highlights the wide range of health problems that can result from sleep disturbances. The chapter emphasizes the importance of a healthy sleep pattern for our physical and mental well-being, and provides valuable insights into the benefits of napping. Chapter 5 of Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker, titled Changes in Sleep Across the Lifespan, explores how our sleep patterns change as we age, from infancy to old age. The chapter begins by discussing the sleep patterns of infants, who spend much of their time sleeping and experience multiple sleep cycles each day. The author notes that infants have different sleep needs than adults, and that disruptions to their sleep patterns can have serious consequences for their development. The chapter then turns to the sleep patterns of children and adolescents, who require more sleep than adults due to the demands of growth and development. The author explains that sleep disturbances are common among this age group, and that they can have negative effects on cognitive function. emotional regulation, and overall health. The chapter also explores the sleep patterns of adults, noting that our sleep needs and patterns change as we age. The author explains that older adults tend to experience more fragmented sleep, with more awakenings during the night and less time spent in deep sleep. The author suggests that this may be due to changes in the brain and body that occur with aging. The chapter concludes by discussing the importance of maintaining a healthy sleep pattern throughout life. The author notes that sleep disturbances can have serious consequences for physical and mental health, and that there are a variety of strategies that can be used to improve sleep quality and duration at any age. Overall, Chapter 5 of Why We Sleep provides a comprehensive overview of how our sleep patterns change across the lifespan. The chapter underscores the crucial role of sleep in growth and development, and highlights the negative consequences that can result from sleep disturbances at any age. The chapter emphasizes the importance of maintaining a healthy sleep pattern throughout life, and provides valuable insights into strategies for improving sleep quality and duration.